There's two types of married dudes that are around me that I associate with. And that is the warrior and the cucked. I'm close with the warriors. The cucked, I keep them at a distance. You can't trust any man that has had his masculinity compromised. You can't trust him. Because everything that you say to him, he's taking it to his queen. There's no secret. He has one loyalty in this world. Keep that bitch happy. So you want to keep that guy at arm's length, especially if you're a single guy out here. Because trust me, she doesn't want him hanging around you because you're like that escaped slave that brings news of freedom. The warrior, the masculine guy, that's the guy who sticks with you, whether you're single, whether you're married, because his woman doesn't tell him who his friends should be. You see? He's in charge. Those dudes are diehard friends. But the culture wants his balls. The gynocracy wants his balls. Even the woman that he's with, even though she's submitted to his leadership, she wants his balls. Every week or so, he has to check her. Don't think that guy has an easy job. He has to put her ass in check. Say, look, no. Then she'll try probably to seduce him into slowly getting a hold of them sacks. Because she wants control. But she's turned on by the fact that he won't allow her to have the control. And that's what keeps her in that relationship. It's that guy with that Kaiser Sosa mentality. I have a few of those brothers around me. They won't allow their balls to be taken by any woman put in a jar, put in the pantry behind the peas and rice. I respect the warrior guy. That's a self-respecting man with self-esteem and healthy testosterone. I have a few of those brothers, diehard brothers, good friends. But the cuck dude, he's the one who comes in our comment section harassing us on this channel. He's the one online lecturing us, and because maybe he got the woman that wouldn't have dated him when he was 21. She finally dated him. Otherwise, he wouldn't even care. Because the warrior dudes don't even watch this content except other than to show support or what's up with Peaceful Life. The warrior dudes just come through and say what's up to us and they keep it moving. Because they don't even like the cuck dude. Because they see him as, no self-respecting married man wants to hang out around cucked married dudes. Trust me, you guys who've been married, you know that dude. That bitch ass, he's always simping, always pandering, and you're sitting down eating your meat, your food, and that those couples get together and you want to vomit your food. This dude, you want to take him out back and smack the shit out of him, smack some masculinity back at him. By the conversation, you can tell he is her bitch. That guy, you guys know what I'm talking about with life experience. That cuck dude, it just makes you cringe that he's allowed himself to go that low. But let me give you an example of that cuck dude. You can't be trusted. You ever have a problem in your relationship? That's when you lose a guy. If you go through a divorce, that warrior dude's going to be with you to the end. The cuck dude, his wife's going to tell him, oh, that you can't be around that dude. You don't want the divorce virus to spread. But that warrior dude's like, you don't tell me who my friends should be. Watch this video here. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about.
I wish that he was my boyfriend again. I don't necessarily want to be single, but I miss the single life. I miss the text messages for no reason. I miss the coming up from behind me when I'm scrambling eggs and just kissing me on the back of the neck. Like,
I still do that, Boris. I still do that. Okay.
I'm being, general here, but yeah. I'm just saying that the trappings.
There's a difference. There's definitely a difference.
There's the trappings of being single. Like, okay, you two are really good-looking people, okay, and you're married, and we're married. There's people that flirt with you, and the part of the flirtation doesn't make you necessarily go wayward.
Now that's Boris Kuja. We know who the cuck dude is. Okay? You see how quickly he rolled him on the bus? I still do that. That's called the example of a bitch-led dude. And there's a lot of dudes around that are like that. And look, a peaceful life is not anti-relationship. I am pro-relationship. The culture is anti-relationship where there's true masculine leadership, where men are getting fair exchange in value, where the woman is pouring into the man. The culture is one-sided relationships that only benefits women. But there's a lot of cuck dudes around. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. They will sell you out on jobs. They're bitch-led. You got to ask permission. They got to ask permission every day for what they want to do. You can't trust a man who's led by his woman. Nor can you trust a man that's obsessed with box, or a guy who worships box. That's a guy you can't trust around your wife. You can't trust around your girlfriend. You can't even trust this guy with a whore. He be done roll you up underneath the bus because he has a scarcity mentality. Watch dude's character. You know what you want to test a dude? Put him in a room full of beautiful women. See if he starts peacocking. See if he starts making jokes, trying to clown you or clown other men. See if he starts kissing ass. Watch the dude's behavior when they're around women. Two things that exposes men's character: women and money. And some dudes are just treasonous. But you'll find out everything you need to know about a man when you put him in a room full of beautiful women. You'll find out if he's a jellyback or not. But he's a bitch-led, bitch-ran, or a treasonous mother. You know, that's how you test the brothers or whatever else. You find out what they are. You put them to the test, you know, and you find out, because everything is tested under stress. This happy-go-lucky world that we live in here, you know, and whatever. Everybody is, you know, fair weather. When people are angry, you find out what they really are about. Do they betray the people that were close to them? Tell all their secrets? Or do they just walk away and say, man, I ain't messing with you no more, and just go on about their way in business in the silent? Do they just roll each other underneath the bus? You know, but you can't trust these cucks. They're just, there's so many of them in the community. You just got to watch them on the side of the corner. You can't even talk to them, especially the ones that have been compromised. They vote according to what their woman tell them to vote for. Their whole life is surrounded by what she wants. But the warrior dude, that's the dude, you know, solid dudes, man. There's some solid guys out here. But either here or there. But that's just a conversation of the two types of guys you're going to encounter, you know, out here with married dudes. Well, single dudes is very easy. There's a dude who hasn't taken the upgraded program, you know, to modern life, modern reality, you know, 3.0, where he's upgraded his mindset mentality. He's living a hope strategy, wishful thinking that he's missing something out here. When real reality is that your happiness is looking at you in the mirror every day. Your peace is looking at you in the mirror every day. You got to be happy on your own. You know, you got to fall in love with your own company. What you think you're going to get from relationships is not there. You know, there's a honeymoon phase of every relationship. Then that shit gets real. Then real love, real sacrifice kicks in after the honeymoon phase is over. And that's when you find out who's really into you or who's just performing to get what they want. And, you know, a lot of single guys don't understand that. It's the distance that matters. It's the stress. Who can hang with you over stress? Who can withstand the hard times, you know? Because when things are difficult is when everybody's tested. But anyhow, video goes on longer than I expected. But watch these cuck dudes. They give some of the worst advice. They'll roll you underneath the bus, giving you bad advice, bad information, because they have got their balls tucking, and they want you to join the ball-clipped crew. These jellybacks, they're an infestation. And I'll be hitting on them all year. Anyhow, peace and blessings to you guys. I'm out. Make sure you hit the like button.